What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Project Ozone 2 Kappa Mode. Oh yeah, guys. So here we are in the last millennium. Last episode, we finally got around to making our wand of animation. Yeah, that took a long time. We spent like the last, I don't even know, 10, 20, 100 episodes trying to get that wand of animation. And we finally were able to craft that, all the singularities, all of the ultimate stew, the cosmic meatballs, everything that goes into making that crazy thing. So we have that all done. So now I made a platform here so we can start looking at spawning in animated blocks. So as you guys saw at the end of the last episode, when we made the wand, you can click a block, animate it, and when you kill that block, you kill it either with spikes, you kill it with your sword, whatever. When you kill the block, it drops whatever type of block it is that's animated. So what we can do with that is if we take an MFR auto spawner, exact copy the animated block, and we kill it, we can duplicate blocks. Great. So this is what we want to do. This is our goal. I need to find the center of this. I guess that would be this block right here. So we're going to start setting up a killing chamber here for those blocks. Something like that. I want a 3x3 on the inside, and we will square this thing up. So yes, we are going to make a little killing chamber here. I went ahead and I made a Draconic Evolution mob grinder. This is a thing we have not used at all in this series, but we have used it before in the past. Yes, the mob grinder will kill monsters in a 7x7x7 area in front of it, so we can make this thing like way bigger if we wanted to. But honestly, it's not necessary. So we want to kill the items that are going to be in here, I guess the blocks or whatever you want to call them. Is that going to be right? Celic. We go up one more. Is that a 3x3? Yes. Okay. So yeah, we want to kill the blocks that are going to be in here. They're going to drop the blocks of their type, whatever they are animated of, and we need to collect those. So it's going to make farming certain blocks like Awakened Draconium pretty trivial. Same thing with our Neutronium stuff that we've been collecting over here. Yeah, once we get those blocks animated and we are spawning those in, we don't need these neutron collectors anymore because we'll be getting those ingots so fast. These will be a joke. Okay, so we have the killing chamber almost done. I do want to fill this thing in with glass. We do need to provide our mob grinder with power. It's not that big of a deal. I also need to get power to the powered spawners that we're going to be spawning in our blocks with. So we did animate 2 blocks last episode. We got the Neutronium block. Yeah, and then we also did the Draconium block. So those guys, we definitely want to get going here. So we're probably going to be setting this up similar to the setup that we have in the overworld, our mob farm that we have. So we have a little killing chamber here, completely enclosed. And then above this, we're going to start putting in a portal that'll warp monsters down into there. And above the portal, we can start stacking all sorts of spawners. Now, since we're spawning these in exact copy, right? They spawn kind of slow. That should be about fine. They spawn in kind of slow. So normally when you're trying to do like high volume monsters, you kind of want to do portal, spawner, portal, spawner, portal, spawner. Make like a sandwich out of it. So like they're spawning in and they're warping out of the area of the spawner to allow the next volley of monsters to be spawned in, right? But since this is going to be spawning in pretty slow, that does not matter. Okay, so that's the center. So we're going to go at 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that what we want to do? That'll be 8, then 9 in the center. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to be making this 9x9 on the inside. I think in Minecraft 1.7, this version, the spawners, even the auto spawners, only do like an 8x8 spawning radius. So it's like 4 on one side, 3 on the other. It's weird. Anyway, we're just going to ignore that. We're just going to make this an 11x11 portal frame, 9x9 on the inside. Yep. And yeah, we'll just stack the spawners directly above this thing. Now, with these particular portals, I've seen it before where monsters can drop through them. Now, normally if a monster drops into it, it should be warped. But yeah, I've seen it before where monsters can actually drop through it, which is not good. So I will place a bottom block here. I don't know what's going to be, quartz probably. So if anything drops into it and they don't warp, they'll land on there and then they'll get warped, like I guess seconds later or whatever. Actually, you know what? I was going to put the dislocator here. I'm going to put it on the other side, just so we don't have to look at it. Right there. Okay, I think that's going to be just fine. We can get rid of all of this stuff. Actually, you know what? I should probably leave the block here in the center so we have a place to put the spawners on as we start stacking those up. Okay, so that is our center. We want, I think, our first spawner to be one above that, so we can place a powered spawner here. In fact, I'm just going to kind of stack these things. That's all we're going to do. We can glass this up. I guess it doesn't really matter. Or we could use some burnt quartz or something and build up the outside so it looks like this is a actual structure and not just an open portal. Another thing we could do. But yeah, I think we'll probably end up glassing this off just to make sure. It is possible that a monster could spawn like partway on the block, I guess, and just kind of like hang out here. Yeah, we definitely don't want that. If we fill this all in with glass, that shouldn't happen. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is come in here, stand right like this, and I usually face away from the spawner, or I guess the killer thing, but it doesn't matter. All right, so we have that thing set there, so now we can put the portal, well, we gotta get rid of this, then we can put the portal right here. Yep, so now, if you step in here, you get warped right into the killing chamber. Perfect. Okay, so that's what we want. Anything that goes through there is going to be warped in there. We can take that out for now. Normally, when I set up things like this, I always warp myself in there a few times, and that gets annoying. Okay, so we have these stacked up. These are going to be set to exact copy. All right, and then we're going to want to put our safari nets in there. This one's got power, and it already has essence in there, so if I do that, it's going to spawn in monsters, so I'm not going to do that just yet. We could put them in these, I guess. But yeah, we are going to want ways to turn this on and off, right? So we don't always want monsters spawning. We don't always, like, we're going to want a way to power these things, I guess. So we're going to have to put conduits here anyway. So we might as well put the redstone there too, since it doesn't take up any additional space. And we also need to get these things fluid for the essence. So something like that should work just fine. I can pull all of these conduits out this way, I guess. Or we could go up and over the spawner. Yeah, the problem is if we do this, monsters could spawn and then land right here. Yeah, that's the thing we got to figure out. Maybe it would be better to do it like this and then over. Or I guess we could do a tesseract. I'm not sure the best way to do this, to be honest. Okay, well, I tell you guys what. Let me just go ahead and get some of this stuff figured out. Just running the cables and stuff like that. And we'll be right back. All right, guys, so we got a lot of this stuff already done now. We got the cables run, and I ended up using some quite clear glass painted cable facades. I tried using like a solid color one. It just looked weird, and I don't want the cables like completely exposed and not as a full block. Yeah, because that is going to allow like the monsters to spawn partway in there and potentially get stuck or whatever. And I just used some regular quite clear glass right here to put on top of the spawner. Yeah, because we don't want anything spawning up there and just hanging out, right? We want them to spawn everywhere there's an airspace, not in the cables, not on top. We want them to just spawn and then fall down to the portal. So that's the idea. The conduit does go through the glass right here, and then we have a tesseract providing power. We have ender tank on the lime frequency providing monster juice. Yeah, that is coming from over here at our cows. Our cows have been producing essence for quite some time. In fact, we have a bedrockium drum of it. It's already full. Yeah, so this stuff is just going right into the ender tank here, and that is being wirelessly sent over to our spawners. Yep. So that's how that's getting that. And then we have a lever on this block. The redstone conduit is attached. I had to click it with a wrench to attach it to this block, and that is, yeah, sending the redstone signal over here and turning off the spawners. Now, the bottom two spawners has our neutronium and our awakened draconium blocks in there. I don't know which one's which. It doesn't really matter. But when we start spawning those in, they're going to come down here and we're going to have blocks just kind of laying around. So we need a spot, or we need a place to start collecting those blocks. So I got done replacing this main cable here with a dense cable all the way down. We could have used, yeah, we could have used like a P2P, just a single conduit. I was thinking about it, but like if we do that, we'd want the conduit all the way down. We'd probably have like a P2P on this side and a P2P on this side, and we'd probably do it on this and this one, etc., etc., right? We were already using 7 channels. So I thought if we did that, we'd be using 7 channels anyway of P2P conduits or P2P connections instead of, you know, just running a dense cable all the way down. Anyway, to me, it just made more sense to do this. Resources really aren't that expensive anymore, so it's not like we really have to conserve on anything. So yeah, we can run the dense cable. That's fine. So anyway, we have the dense cable here. We have 8 channels available. And yeah, we're going to connect this to our ME system when we're all done. But again, we're going to use the advanced item collector. I'm going to get some use out of this thing one of these days. Advanced item collector here. This is going to be set for a Y radius, probably 4. Yeah, I think 4 is going to be enough. So as the monsters spawn in, this will pick it up. In fact, we could probably do this like a 3x3x4. I think that'll be fine. Okay, so we have that there. We need to get ourselves a storage bus to put on this thing. We also have some jungle drawers that we need to install here as well. So I guess we can put these in. I don't know how many blocks we are going to need or anything like that. So let's just put down, I don't know, 9 drawers. That seems like a reasonable amount. We don't want to go too crazy just yet, because I don't even know if we're going to need to spawn in that many blocks going forward. Okay, so we want a key so we can unlock these drawers. We don't want anything going in right now. So locks and unlocks drawers. We want these locked before we do anything else. Now we can attach a storage bus here and glass cable. We'll set the priority highest here. And then let's see, what else do we want to do? I think that's probably about it. So as we spawn in blocks, the advanced item collector is going to try and grab them and put them into our drawer controller. It can't go anywhere right now because all these drawers are locked. So I'll have to grab them manually, place them in there, and then that should just work by itself going forward. I think we can give this a try. It seems like a pretty straightforward setup. So let's turn this on. We'll spawn in both our draconium and our neutronium blocks. The animated versions of those should just be warped down. They're killed by that, and then we'll have to pick up the blocks with our magnet. Let's turn our magnet off for right now. All right, so there's a neutronium. There's the awakened draconium. Both of those are killed, and that's interesting. This block like flew over here. That might be a problem. I'm kind of curious to see, does that happen every time, or is that... Okay. That is kind of a problem. So we'll probably want to set the X and the Y, or X and Z radius on that a little bit higher. Okay, let's collect these things. So we will put a spot here for the neutronium block. We'll put a spot here for the awakened draconium. Let's set this thing to be a larger range then. You know what? Let's just max it out. I don't think that's going to hurt anything. It can only grab those 2 blocks anyway. So we'll end up having like loot bags in there, but that's not a big deal because we don't need those for anything. So it looks like those did get collected. We can go in here and just check it out, make sure. Yep, so there's 16. And then we'll check it out one more time. And 17. All right, so we are now collecting awakened draconium. We can do whatever we want with the awakened draconium at this point. We have unlimited of it, which is awesome. Okay, so now that we got these 2 things going, I mean, those are fine and everything. I think what we really want to spawn in, though, is an infinity block, which means we need to make 9 infinity ingots. I don't know if we have the stuff to do that right now, but I think this is going to be pretty much the dream. If we can start spawning in infinity blocks, we never have to make these infinity ingots, which means we don't have to worry about these infinity catalysts as much, right? So if we were going to do that, that's going to be a lot of the stuff that we need to do. In fact, we probably need to do another full 100% recipe of these infinity catalysts. Yeah, I think that's something we're going to have to do. Okay, so that is probably going to be our next goal. I'm not sure if that's going to be like a big pain in the butt to do right now. I guess what I could do, we could just let this run for a while, collect these guys. These are going to be really good. I also do want to get the upgrades in here, so we should do that as well. Let's grab some upgrade We want 4 of each kind. 4 of those. And then we also want the void upgrades because we don't want these overflowing and causing any problems. If we get up to 106,000, I think we're good, right? So we can start voiding them at that point. I don't think that's going to cause any sort of an issue. Okay, so we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a void upgrade in each one. Perfect. Okay, so we don't have to worry about those again. Yeah, let's take a moment here. I'm gonna go look and see what it costs for us to do this infinity block. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it, but yeah, let me go check it out and we'll be right back. All right, guys, so I just started looking back at this recipe here, and I was like, you know, we can probably start making all of these. We are going to need 99 more of these infinity catalysts, right? We already have 19 here, so yeah, I mean, we already got a good start. And then I was like, oh, wait, eternal singularities. Yeah, that's going to be our problem. We need to look at getting these things hooked up, right? So we were, let's back up. Before we start doing infinity blocks, let's back up. We need to start getting these things automated. So we were in the process of making a bunch of these neutronium compressors before, right? In fact, we should have the rest of the things over here. Yeah, all of our impulse hoppers and all this stuff. We were looking at getting the neutronium plates, tough rods, and then the block in the center, I think is what it was. So we need 25 blocks, and then whatever it takes to make the 14 plates per craft. So 14 times 25 times 8 is how many neutronium ingots we need just for those large plates. And then we need to get an additional 6 ingots per craft for the tough rods. Yeah, how are we doing right now on the neutronium? We're going to have like all of it here pretty soon because of our spawner. There's 50 blocks. I mean, that right there alone, that takes care of the need for our blocks, right? So that's done. So we could start looking at what it costs to get these plates in here. And then we could start getting all these other things done. We might even be able to do that with the neutronium that we have in ingot form already. So I guess that's probably going to be our next step. We want to make one of these neutronium compressors for each and every individual singularity. We want to get this prepared to be set up to be completely automated. But the biggest thing is we are definitely going to need a way to get EMC for all of these singularities. Like I mentioned before, the Emerald block one, that was crazy expensive on the EMC. Like it was going through a stack of those Demon Steel of the 7th, like about every 5 seconds. That just was so much EMC that we needed. Currently, if we look, we have 166,000 Demon Steel at the 7th magnitude, which is pretty good. We're going to need more. We're going to need more than that. So anyway, let me go ahead and start filling out this recipe. See if we got enough neutronium at this point to make the rest of these, the neutronium compressors. And then we will look at seeing if we can set up, I guess, just get the machines laid out and ready to go in the last millennium. So let me get to that and we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, so I've been AFK for a little while. I've been cleaning up some stuff around the base. I got rid of our neutronium compressors back here, all the conduit, the ME stuff. So that's all gone now. Yeah, I've been waiting for the neutronium blocks to collect, and like I said, I've been AFK, so we now have like almost 600 of these, plus all of the neutronium that's gone into all these plates, the blocks, and these tough rods. So we have enough of this stuff now to make 25 additional neutronium compressors, which is pretty awesome. So I've also been doing stuff in the last millennium, preparing for getting this whole automation process set up. So here in the last millennium, on the other side of our block spawner area, yeah, I've set up another area here specifically for our neutronium compressors. So we should have enough here, I think, if I calculated everything correctly, to place all of these down here and not have any extras and not be one short. I hope we might have an extra. I don't know. Yep, one extra. That's fine. Okay. So these neutronium compressors can also be used for other things. You can make blocks out of certain ingots. I'm not sure if you can do that with everything. Like, I know I saw there was some block that we can make. Can we make like, yeah, see, like you can do ingots into block using a neutronium compressor. And I think it's almost instant. So that might be something that we use that for, specifically for making blocks if we need those in the future or something. But whatever. So this one right here has our nether stars in it. Yeah, I went ahead and I went through and I placed all the different blocks in these things. So they should be all ready to go. We do need to get the translocators on all of these guys. Did I not grab that? There it is. Okay. So yes, translocators, we have the glowstone on the chest, and then we are going to place the receiving end on these neutronium compressors like we had before. These all need to have the button pressed. I'll get to that here in a minute. We're also gonna have to figure out how we're gonna get all the demon steel into these things. I assume we're probably just gonna end up doing the item conduit like we were doing before in the overworld, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But yeah, that's what we're looking like right now. And then for collecting the items, I went ahead and I made these compact oak drawer 2x2s. These only hold 4 stacks per drawer. I don't want a lot of these things being made. We could just do it with like, you know, a mini chest or something like that. So it's only holding 1 stack per singularity. But honestly, I think if we make eternal singularities, we're probably going to make a couple stacks at a time or something. But I don't want to use like a single drawer that holds like 2048, because that would just be a stupid amount of EMC that goes into, like, for instance, the emerald singularity. So I don't think I want to do that. But anyway, so where's the center? Is it this block right here? Is that the center? Yeah, this looks like the center here. So I think what we're going to do, we'll just put like the drawer. I don't know if we're going to leave that above ground or whatever. But I think if we just put these into a 3x3, yeah, we'll probably put the drawer controller underground. I think a 3x3 will contain all of the singularities that we need. So let me put the drawer controller down first. Like so, and then that. Yeah, I think that is enough to contain every single one of our singularities. I'm pretty sure. Including, that's all the singularities, including our nether star ones, the infinity star. So I think that's all we need to do. So we'd have to run a storage cable to this, a storage bus to that, and then we're going to have to get the item conduits. We'll probably run those through the ground, I expect, right? Since you can do that, we'll put them underneath each one of these machines. They'll just be on extract all the time. And then, yeah, we can just put it into the side of the controller over there. I think that'll be just fine. Put that in. And yeah, I think we'll leave that. And we'll just kind of run that through the ground here to the side. That way we can, on the bottom here, put our storage bus. Did make another one of those. So we can just slap that guy right here. And then our item conduit. Item conduit, like I said, can go into the side. Yep. And then it'll probably just hang out right here. And then we'll put like some facades on there, whatever, to cover that all up. I think that's going to work out just fine. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. So something like that. Okay. So I have to go through, set those all to extract, always active or whatever. And then those will all fill up our drawers. I'll probably go through and put one of the singularities in each one of those drawers. We should have one of each type. Since when we made the full stack, the way these things work, when they fill up and you get 64 here, it'll still do like one more progress, but it won't be able to put that anywhere. So you got to like stop sending the items into the neutronium compressor, remove the extra stack of blocks that you have here, and then if you pull out this stack of singularities, one more will appear immediately, so you'll get 65. So yeah, we ended up with like one additional of these singularities for every single type that we should have in here. So I'll probably go through and put those in order the way they're listed in NEI here. Yeah, I'll probably just go through and put those in order. I did put all of these in order too, the way they're listed in NEI. Not that it really matters, but that's the way I've done it. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and spend a little bit more time here. Let's see if I can get these things connected. We'll have to get an interface that's providing the demon steel for all of these. Yeah, let me get to that, and then we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, so everything should be hooked up now. We should be getting the demon steel of the 7th magnitude through this item conduit into the bottom of these energy condensers. Yep, and those are being fed through this interface here. This stuff is not connected, obviously. So we're extracting always active with the item conduit speed upgrade in there. Yeah, and that's going to be feeding into the bottom of these. Off the bottom, like we saw, we have the conduits running through here, and then I did use conduit facades to cover that up so we don't see that as we're walking around. Same thing on the other side. We've got another interface here, conduits set up all the exact same way. So I think we should be good as soon as we connect this. I did put all the singularities into these drawers. Like I said, they're in the order like they appear here, although it doesn't matter, with the infinity star being last. Okay, so let's grab an ME dense cable. I'm sorry, ME glass cable, not a dense cable. I did have to put some dense cables. I had to run the cable along this section here that I just added. So yeah, that's what we're looking like underneath here. So if I connect this, eventually the network will recognize that, hey, we got stuff. We'll start providing the demon steel of the 7th magnitude to, I don't know which one of these ever. And then it'll start the process. We'll start making the singularities. And then all of that stuff, once the singularity made, is starting to go into the drawers over here. So it looks like the very first ones down there have collected. Now, they are going to fill up completely full of the demon steel of 7th magnitude. So it's going to take a while before the next ones kick on. But eventually, all of these will kick on. All of these will be full of the demon steel. I wonder, should I put on like round robin? Is that going to make a difference? I don't know. So now we got 2 of them going on each one. Yeah, so this one right here, this one is going to start eating that demon steel really fast. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the speed in which the emeralds goes through that is a little crazy. So this one's probably going to start at first, I think, because the emerald is just eating through that so much faster. Yeah, so that one started up, and this one's going to take a little bit longer before it goes. But it will start going here probably pretty soon. There it is. Anyway, so all these will kick on all the way down. They're going to fill these up until there are 4 stacks of each individual type, right? And then there will be another stack here, okay? And then, yeah, we'll figure out how we're going to auto-craft the eternal singularities. I think we'll have, like, the auto-crafting table, like, over here somehow hooked up to Applied Energistics, and that will be available in the Applied Energistics system. And then when we pull out, I don't know, a stack or whatever, it'll just pull the rest of the singularities that it needs over here, automatically filling this up, and then providing the completed eternal singularities again. I think that's how we're gonna do this anyway. So anyway, this is gonna take a lot of time before all of these are full of the demon steel, and it's gonna take a lot longer before this is full with all the different singularities. But yes, I think this is gonna be really, really good when this is all done. So our demon steel, we should see that dropping pretty significantly. Yeah, because it's gotta fill up like every one of these MK2s, like I said. So yeah, it's got a little bit of time before all this stuff is going to fill up, but I'm pretty happy with getting this done. This is one of those things that's like a huge pain that you definitely want to get automated. You could do all of these with just one neutronium compressor for the rest of the game, but why would you want to do that? I have no idea. I wouldn't want to do that. But anyway, guys, I think we're going to go and wrap the episode up here for today. I had a lot of fun getting all this stuff hooked up. It took a long time to get all these things done, but it's definitely worth it. But that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.